Now to some bad news for your pockets. The United States Labor Department says consumer prices in January jumped 7.5% from the same time last year. That's the highest increase in decades. And economists predict this year won't be much better when it comes to food. Brandon Simmons tells us what to expect and what you need to do to save.
We're all feeling it at the register.
Grocery prices are exploded. The demand is high and the costs are high.
It costs a little bit more, but you got to buy food, so what are you going to do?
Prices across the board are on the rise, from gas to rent to clothing. But when it comes to grocery store prices, economists say don't expect relief anytime soon, although the Fed may step in the coming months.
There is some hope that as sort of 2022 moves on and intervention from the Federal Reserve and by raising interest rates to tampen down inflation, but these things don't happen quickly.
This year, the Labor Department reported inflation rose 7.5% in January compared to the year before, a number not seen in 40 years. And economists from Goldman Sachs say we could see another 5 to 6% increase on groceries this year.
For me personally, it means, cutting down on anything that I would buy that would be extra.
There are some tips you can use to save money at the checkout counter. Have a list and stick to it. Compare store prices. Know the options near you. Bring your own bags and use rebate and store apps to find savings. But even that won't make up for the shortfall for many.
That growth in wages is not keeping up with what's happening with inflation. It's easy to tell folks to take a long-term view. It's harder, I think, for people to do it on a day-to-day basis when they've got bills to pay, and whether it's an energy bill or a rent bill or a grocery bill, that those bills have gone up.
President Joe Biden today said his administration is using every tool it has to keep prices down. But for most Americans, it's still not enough.
The money's got to come from somewhere. You got to keep the lights on, and you got to keep the roof over your head, and you got to keep food on the table.
Now, overall, experts say our economy is still in good shape and demand for products is still high, Laura. But until those supply chain issues get fixed, prices could continue to rise.
Not great news. We hope those issues get fixed soon. Brandon, thank you so much for that.
The truck protest at the U.S.-Canada border is causing the auto industry to slow down production. Demonstrators at the Freedom Convoy are upset with COVID restrictions, and they have blocked 2 bridges linking Ontario and Michigan. Ford, General Motors, Toyota are feeling the biggest impact of all this.